What's going on, Titan Nation? We're about to get started in just a moment. Want everybody to come on in. And let's go ahead and get going with one very obvious sound. That is how I'm going to start this TNT post game. Not in a very happy mood today, as the Tennessee Titans season comes to a bitter end with a 20-13 loss to the Baltimore Ravens in the wild card round just a little bit ago. And I got to tell you, I am in a very angry, upset mood. I'm not happy at all. The fact of the matter is, with everything that has happened this season, the Tennessee Titans had some opportunities. And they squandered it. They lost. Season's over. Not happy about it. And if anybody is expecting me to say, you know what, it was a good game, they gave it their best shot, they'll get it back next year, they'll be back, it's only one game, you're not going to get that from me. Ain't going to happen. Because the fact of the matter is this, and I know there are going to be Raven fans that are come in here and clown me. Fine. Go right ahead. Y'all won. I can take my lumps like a man, but don't think I'm just gonna, be happy about it. I'm gonna tell the truth about this. This game sucked on a lot of different levels. The better team did not win this football game. Now, I will give the Baltimore Ravens some credit. The Baltimore Ravens came out with a very good plan defensively and did very well, especially on Derrick Henry. When the game was put in Ryan Tannehill's hands and in Arthur Smith's hands, they choked. They choked completely. No doubt about it. They choked. And many of you who watched my show, I said the one word that scared me to death about this game is history. And history was doomed to repeat itself. And I see a lot of people are in here right now. Ian, what's up? Mike. I see some Ravens fans in here gloating, which that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yes. Y'all won. Sure, y'all did all right. We choked. So it is what it is. And we're going to get into this game because early on it looked pretty good. The Titans started off pretty well. And here are some of the stats from that game. Titans started off hot, playing well on both sides of the ball. Even though they had that 3 and out, then they got the drive going, they scored first. They struck first blood. And then they got up 10-0 when it should have been 14-0. But then after that, what you noticed is that the Tennessee Titans kind of started to sit on that lead. They sat on it. They thought maybe that would be enough. But the fact of the matter is this. Everything was going well until one singular play. That Lamar Jackson 49-yard touchdown run. That changed the entire complexion of the entire ball game. The Ravens had no momentum, no energy. That particular play woke them up. and it woke him up for the entire game, and we basically fell asleep and could not wake up. And the fact of the matter is this: the Tennessee Titans, Classic Rod, you said it exactly right. And I'm going to go back to more of your other comments. That's exactly what the Titans did, especially on offense. They played not to lose instead of playing to win. You're up 10-0. You got a chance to put your foot on the throat, and you didn't do it. And there were a lot of questionable calls by Vrabel and by Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith seemed predictable. He doesn't seem like, I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. And you got to think, you're only as good as your last game. And if Arthur Smith is on his way out, this was not a good way for him to be sent off. It would not shock me if some of these teams that have head coaching jobs might have backed off a little bit after watching this game. Because I guarantee you, all 6 of those GMs and owners or whoever that have those opening jobs were looking at this game. And Arthur Smith left a whole lot to be desired. Left a lot to be desired. Mr. Titan, what's going on? Welcome on in here. And he said, I would let Arthur Smith go. I mean, and Weezy, what's going on? How you doing? What's up, man? But this game came down to, like I said, the Lamar Jackson run and not going for it on 4th and 2. That is going to be the play that defined this entire season. Is that we should have went for it on 4th down. It's 4th and 2 and you punt the ball. And you're down, I want to say you're down 17-10, I want to say in this situation, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been 17-13, but you punt the ball. That was probably the worst decision that Vrabel has made. You should go for it. And why was Derrick Henry not in the game on any of those situations? They didn't run none of those read options that has worked time and time again. And then Lamar Jackson did Lamar Jackson things. So you look at the stats, Tannehill 18 of 26, 165 and a touchdown and an interception that ended the game. Derrick Henry probably had his worst game as a Titan, 18 carries, 40 yards. And A.J. Brown had 6 catches for 83 and a touchdown, but then things didn't exactly go his way because he only caught, 1 or maybe 2 balls after that touchdown the rest of the way. No Corey Davis, and the way he was looking, he probably has played his last game as a Tennessee Titan. And who do you put the blame on? Honestly, besides that 49-yard touchdown run, I really can't put blame on the defense. The defense, as we were all worried about, played probably as well of a football game as they could have played. And DeAndre said, what a disastrous final game as a Titan for Corey Davis. Yeah, I think Corey Davis, the way he looked, he's on the sideline like this, no helmet on. We don't know if it was an injury or Vrabel just pulled him. And Vrabel refused to answer that in the press conference, even though I think a lot of people were pressing him on that. Corey Davis probably has just played his last game as a Titan. But what a bad way to go out. Mike Barnett on Facebook says we better hire a defensive coordinator. Agreed, but now it looks like we may have to hire an offensive coordinator as well. And again, and Ian, you're right. Defense was all right. Defense played a lot better than I thought we would play. Yes, Lamar and them got finished things off in the end, and Marquise Brown very fast. You see what a fast receiver could do for you? A good fast receiver? Isn't that what we've been missing? And DeAndre comes in and says, what's up, my Blue Fire brother? Happy Founders Day to all my brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Said nothing guaranteed next season. We have a brutal schedule, and you're darn right we do. Have you seen the teams we're going to be playing next season? This is going to be an extremely important offseason because next year is going to be brutal. We have to play a lot of good offenses, a lot of good teams. We're going to have to play the AFC West. We're going to play the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals. Got to play those teams. Got to play Kansas City next year. Got to play Pittsburgh next year. So we got a lot of good football teams we're going to be playing next season. So Vrabel and John Robinson better get their act together, get their shit together, because they royally screwed this up today. I see a lot of people saying the game made them sick. I know. It did for me too. The offense failed us today. The offense stunk. From the offensive line got thoroughly beat down by the Ravens defensive line. Obviously, Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams made a big difference because they pushed our offensive line around. Derrick Henry really couldn't get nothing going. His longest run was 8 yards. That's pathetic. Arthur Smith looked predictable. Corey Davis just seemed like he wasn't interested because they didn't throw him the ball, which I don't know why. But Arthur Smith looked like a punk today. He got punked out by Martindale in that defense. So again, wasted a pretty good effort from the defense. Because the defense had the most sacks they have had, in the last couple of years. Had 5 sacks today. 2 by Landry. Ian said, was he really hurt or pouting? Probably both. Pouting more so than hurt. And K True, you're right. This offseason is very important. Because we got some serious choices to make. Corey Davis is probably as good as gone. You got to wonder if you're going to resign Jonnu Smith. You got to wonder what's going to happen with Jayon Brown. And how are you going to fix the defense and get a better pass rush? There's a lot that was left to be desired. So not going for it, and let's talk about that 4th down because we're going to go back to it. That 4th down was a major deal. I'm thinking you should go for it. Yes, it's too far away from a field goal, but it's too close for a punt. You have to go for it in that situation. And I would have called a read option, thinking that Henry's going to get it, Tannehill gets the 1st down. That's what they should have done. And again, they played not to lose. And we didn't take advantage of the missed kick by Tucker. Jameson says 18 carries for Henry is a joke. I mean, he wasn't really being that effective with the carries he was getting. Derrick Henry didn't look like a king today. The Ravens came in. They wanted revenge. They got it. They got their revenge. And again, history repeated itself. AZ Mix said, why would you go to why would you go to Raymond when AJ was on the other side? I don't know. But obviously, wide receiver has now become a question. You got one with A.J. Brown, but we don't know what's going to happen with Adam Humphries. Now it looks like Corey Davis is as good as gone. So I don't know. There are a lot of questions that the Titans need to answer this offseason. And we really got absolutely nothing out of this draft class. Nothing. And we will have an off-season preview show, kind of recapping this season on Wednesday. And Mr. Titan, you're right. 17-13, why not go for it? I agree totally. Zach says our offensive line was horrible. I don't know if I would say that, but it wasn't good. I don't think it was horrible, but it wasn't good. Derrick Henry show didn't get going. So it wasn't good. I will admit that. James said, how the hell did we lose our Titans identity? Good question, because the Ravens basically out-physicaled us. They were more physical than we were. Way more physical. And I don't know how that happened. I really don't know. I mean, I really don't know how to sum this game up. It was a huge disappointment. And I think I'm more disappointed than I am ticked off, even though I am upset. And we were predictable in all phases. Defense did about as well as they could have, and then they couldn't hold it anymore. And the offense didn't help them at all. No help from the offense today. And make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure you're on TNT Enforcers at Titans_N_Truth on Instagram and on Twitter. Make sure y'all share the show up. Let's get those likes up. I know this is not a happy occasion. And I'm not going to try to make it one because it's not. The Titans stunk today. And there were a lot of short yardage situations, 2nd and 2s, 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 4s, and Derrick Henry is now on the field. I don't know what's going on. And I know a lot of people are blaming defense. Again, the defense did about as well as you could ask them to do. They tried to not break, but then when the offense doesn't help them, they broke. And Classic Rod, you're right. That's another thing I noticed. Vrabel was talking to Henry going to the sideline. It seemed like Henry just didn't want to hear it. You could tell there was a little bit of dissension within the ranks. I don't know if it was frustration or is it that this Titan team is kind of starting to tune Vrabel out. Is Vrabel starting to lose this football team? That's another question. Is Vrabel starting to lose this team? And we're going to have to make moves. We're going to have to make some big, big moves. And Cody, you're right. Arthur took this one on the chin. Titans Mafia saying the Titans, the defense, the offense failed, not the defense. I agree. We didn't use our weapons more than we should have. We wasted a very good effort from the defense. I think everybody needs something to drink, myself included. But this was pathetic. And like I said, I know there's a lot of Raven fans up in here. I know what's up with a lot of Ravens are in here. They're going to clown me. That's fine. Y'all won. Y'all got y'all little revenge. But you know what? The Titans beat themselves pretty good. The offense beat down the defense because the defense did a very good job. The offense did not. And I just again agree. Arthur Smith is not ready yet. He ain't ready to be a head coach. And Vrabel's arrogance of not hiring a defensive coordinator cost him in this game. Bit him squarely in the ass. And the fact that you're seeing Nick Westbrook-Akina on the field more than Corey Davis, that is very telling. I'm like, why? I don't know. Yes, he caught a couple of balls. I'll give him that. But I felt like the Titans played scared this entire game. After they went up 10-0, they started to play scared. Excuse me. So I'm just, obviously, and Jameson, there it is. Vrabel seemed like he didn't want to be there and answer a bunch of questions because he knew that he knew the media was going to come after him. I would have too. Because this was a disgrace of a performance today, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He made some bad calls. He should have went for it on fourth down and didn't. And you really should have given Corey Davis more opportunities, should have gave Jonnu more opportunities, even though that one play Jonnu looked like he had a first down. That was just a good play by Elliott. I got to give him that. And this game taught us what happens if you don't have another good defensive lineman to go along with Jeffrey Simmons. Daquan Jones is all right, but he ain't great. When you have a big-time defensive line, you can win the line of scrimmage against the offensive line. On both sides of the ball in the trenches, we got our butts kicked. And that's unacceptable. And that's the question I have as we go on in this show. What do y'all think? Give me a word to describe what you think of the 2020 season. I know a lot of people are upset right now, myself included. But what would be one word you would say for the 2020 season? Would you say success, failure, disaster? Would you say encouraging? I'm just giving some ideas. What would you say was what was the 2020 season to you? I know what I'm going to say, but I want to hear what some of y'all are going to say first. CW says our interior defensive line is not the issue. It is the defensive end and linebackers. We have no threat there. I agree. P. Hicks says confusing. Cody says missed opportunity. Qua and Zane channel says up and down. Titans Up says slightly disappointing. Ms. Margarita being positive. Success, AFC champs, AFC South champs. Thomas Prince says, depression. Tayshawn says frustrating. Dale says step back. Joseph says we need to hire Jeff Fisher back. 2020 season was mediocre. No, we don't need to hire Jeff Fisher back. Chad says disappointing. And y'all can comment with more of your words too. For me right now, the word is failure. And I'm with Jameson on that one. This season was a failure. A massive failure. From the offseason to now. Yes. I know some of y'all are going to say, but we won the division for the first time in 12 years. Bull. Okay? Yes, we won the division, but we don't get out of the first round of the playoffs. That kind of made winning the division meaningless. Winning the division was meaningless, to tell the truth. if we go out and lose like that. Doesn't mean anything that we won a division. We accomplished nothing. Yes, we got a home game, but we squandered our opportunity. So, yes, my word is failure. J-Rob failed in the offseason with a horrible draft class. You get an offensive lineman that can't even get his mind right to get on the field. He got too many things going on in his personal life. Christian Fulton was injured a lot. He didn't even play today. He was dressed, but he didn't play. Darrington Evans, I think, did okay on kickoff. That was pretty promising, but only had one carry, and that's it. Laurel Murchison barely got on the field. Our fourth round pick was Ryan Tannehill, which I guess that was good. And then seventh rounder Chris Jackson wasn't on the field, pathetic, and the quarterback we should have never chose. So, my word is failure. Because you go out and get Clowney and Beasley, and they give you absolutely nothing, especially Beasley. Clowney at least tried. Beasley stunk. You go down, you don't get no extra wide receiver with some speed when you have many opportunities, and you didn't have any depth on the offensive line. You had Lawan go down, then you had Sam Brilo go down, and Quesenberry. Quesenberry played admirably, but was overmatched. And in this situation, this is where you're supposed to have Isaiah Wilson come in. But Isaiah Wilson was an idiot and a dumbass and couldn't even get out of his own head. He wants to party in Miami for New Year's Eve and popping dollars and popping bottles with females when he should be focusing on getting on the field. So the fact of the matter is, this season was an absolute failure. And they should have signed Logan Ryan back. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes J-Rob made. J-Rob deserves a lot of blame for how this season ended. And J-Rob has better corrected this season. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm ticked off. Because this season, we wasted our offense. And the one time our defense actually plays a decent game, the offense was nowhere to be found. Many others saying failure. Classic Rod says no pass rush. Weezy says sub-level. Of course, Doughboy Gaming said, well, you mocked us. You mocked the big trust. And then after hulling on our logo, tell our coach to coach a game. Hey, I hated the fact they stomped on our logo being disrespectful. I'm like, okay, we will see y'all again. We will get our revenge. But you could tell this is a rivalry built up. Titans, Ravens, they don't like each other. And I might have found me a new team to hate more than the New England Patriots. And that's saying a lot. Because many of you who watch this show know how much I hate the New England Patriots. I'm starting to hate the Ravens just a tad bit more right now. Titans Mafia says train wreck. Classic Rod says blame it on COVID. Rocky Yit says rather the Titans play away games in the postseason. Agreed. CW said not surprised. Look at our defensive front after injuries and also our offense. Our injuries, major injuries to Lawan and Humphreys. And Wilson provided nothing. Agreed. So it was definitely disappointing. And I just ask that we all respect each other. Dale says biggest problem was abandoning our core guys. Jarrell, Casey, and Logan Ryan were needed badly. Agreed. Again, I understand why we traded Jarrell Casey. Just hated that it happened. Logan Ryan, big mistake not re-signing him. What's up, King Isaac? Joseph not being on the team. Well, they cut him, so that ain't nothing to worry about. But this was a massive failure. Winning the division doesn't mean anything when you lose a game like this. Doesn't mean a thing. Yeah, we won a division, but didn't do us any good. Now our season is over. So it is what it is. I'm not happy. Arthur Smith is not ready to be a head coach. I know a lot of people are angry at Arthur Smith right now, but he ain't ready to be a head coach. And it would not shock me if some of those teams that have openings be like, you know what? We're going to back away from Arthur Smith. Nah, he ain't ready to be our head coach yet. I've disliked the Ravens, but I'm starting to hate them a little bit. And again, their defense played a very good game against Derrick Henry. I have to give them that. They did. But other than that, Titans beat themselves. Defense played as well of a game as they could. Offense did absolutely nothing to help them after going up early 10-0. Now, I know a lot of people are going to start panicking, saying we need to do this, we need to do that. Chad coming out saying we need to trade Byard for a second-round pick, let Hooker start, draft the edge rusher and receiver. Hell no. Come on, man. Look, y'all. Now ain't the time to be saying, well, we need to trade this guy and that guy. Although I would say we need to give up Rashaan Evans. But trading Byard, no. Yes, he had one bad season. His season was awful. But we're not trading Kevin Byard. Corey Davis is probably as good as gone. I wouldn't have said that 3 weeks ago. And Titans Mafia is right. They do everything possible this offseason and draft and get some elite players. If they have to trade a first-round pick, so be it. I agree. This offseason coming up is all on J-Rob. J-Rob has a lot of pressure is now going to be put on J-Rob. Because J-Rob is going to have to fix and rectify what has happened this season. And he's going to have to make a big move. He's going to have to make a big move. Kind of like what the Colts did to get DeForest Buckner. Kind of like what San Francisco did to get D Ford. Vrabel's going to have to make that type of move. And there may be some disgruntled players that could be had. But you're going to have to do some work. And we may have to give up a first-round pick. And Hunter Kelly saying, not saying we should get rid of Tannehill, but what would a trade for Deshaun Watson to Tennessee look like? Nothing. Because the Texans are not trading within the division. And they're definitely not going to give a good young quarterback to us who has weapons and probably has a pretty decent offensive line when all healthy. Not going to happen. CW says, I will bring Davis back, get rid of Adam, fix the tackle position. We're in very good position. Bringing a good slot receiver that's fast. And a major overhaul on defense, new DC. Again, the way that Corey Davis looked on the sideline, I don't know if he's coming back. I don't think so. We can't blow up the entire team yet. Just need to have a solid offseason. Again, I'm not saying blow it up. All I'm saying is J-Rob needs to make a big move to bring in a big-time pass rusher or defensive lineman or go get a speedy wide receiver. J-Rob either needs to make a trade with his first-round pick, for a big-time established player, or he's going to have to trade up in the first round, make a big trade in the draft to get a pass rusher. So, yeah, Kevin Byard had a terrible year. A lot of guys did. King Isaac said Lawan made of glass. That is incorrect. Yes, Lawan does get injured, but he tries to play through it. This one he just couldn't play through. And everybody's roasting us. I understand that. But it's on us to fix that problem. It's on us. And right now, we stink in a lot of ways. Defensively, we got a lot to clean up. We do need a defensive coordinator. And Vrabel's going to have to make some changes on his staff. Cornerback coach, probably not good. Defensive line coach, Terrell Williams, I don't know. I mean, what does it mean for Shane Bowen? If Arthur Smith goes, who's going to be the next offensive coordinator? Is it going to be Pat O'Hara, the quarterback coach? Is it going to be Tony Dews, the running back coach? So we got some stuff. We got some questions we need to answer, and we got some upgrades we need to make. And Dale McElroy, I would love this. Coombs as defensive coordinator. I would be down for that. And Jameson, that is basically it. J-Rob is going to have to hit really not one massive home run. He's going to have to hit a couple of home runs this offseason because he has struck out. And I appreciate everybody that's been in here. I know Raven fans are harping on me, and that's fine. Y'all won. Y'all deserve to gloat. Weezy said, drop Raymond, Batson, Foreman, Davis, Saffold, and the running back coach. Okay, so see, I know a lot of y'all are upset. I am too. But a lot of y'all are starting to sound a little delirious. I understand. Take some time, clear your mind, you'll feel differently. No, we're not going to be dropping Saffold and the running back coach unless he gets a job somewhere else. I mean, look, Derrick Henry just had a 2,000-yard season, and we're talking about dropping the running back coach? And we're talking about dropping Saffold, who probably had one of his better seasons, even though today not so much. Mandy Z said we played sorry in the second half. I agree. We were normally a better second half team. We're not today. P. Hicks says we got to get someone to go with Simmons. I've been saying that all year. We definitely need that. Jameson says we cannot keep promoting from within. True. Maybe you do need to bring in an outside of the box guy. True. As far as defensive coordinator, definitely need to go outside. Lovey Smith, Wade Phillips, bring back Dean Pease. And I've said this before. Vrabel should be going to Dean Pease's house and be on his freaking knees, begging Dean Pease to come back. And I'm with Weezy. If Henry goes down, then what? We're going to have a guy that can do what Henry does, do something like what Henry does, just in case he goes down, we don't just completely break down. So, yeah, there's a lot of work that's got to be done this offseason. And so what will happen on Wednesday, we're going to have our offseason awards. We're going to have our season awards. Who was the Titans' most valuable player? Who was the offensive player of the year? Who was the defensive player of the year? Basically, the MVP is going to be who was the two-tone blue star of the year. And we're also going to be asking you who was the dunce of the year besides Isaiah Wilson. We know Isaiah Wilson definitely will be dunce of the year, but I'm talking about on the field. King Isaac says a waste of a season. Again, I said failure, so that would probably go down as waste. But yeah, we're going to put that out. That's going to be on Wednesday night. It's just such a disappointing loss. I mean, this one hurts. This one is going to hurt for a few days. And it may even hurt me when I do the show on Wednesday. But this one hurts. It hurts me. Big time. BLVG 901 said, do you think that they hurt Jayon Brown on purpose just for this game? No. No. Injuries happen. It's a part of football. Manny Z says, I don't know if I trust J-Rob. I haven't since he got hired. I mean, J-Rob has made a lot of good moves. But recently, J-Rob has made a lot of mistakes. So I can definitely understand where some people say their confidence in J-Rob is a bit shaken. Mine has too. Mine has been a little bit more shaken. I agree. Manny says, this hurts more than the Chiefs game. We should have won. We can beat this team. Agreed. And again, we all know Isaiah Wilson is definitely done for the year. But I'm talking about from on-field play, who was the dunce of the year. So make sure y'all share this show out. I know this was pretty somber and probably not my best work today. I apologize. I didn't have a lot more positive energy, but hey, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm ticked off. I'm disappointed. I'm livid, even though I didn't show it. Titans played like wimps today. But now it's time to look to the offseason. And J-Rob has a lot of work to do. I'm going to be looking at J-Rob. Right now, the way Vrabel and J-Rob, I'm not saying they should be on the hot seat to get fired, but I think this offseason, the pressure is on them. The pressure is on Vrabel and J-Rob. Their seats are getting a little warm. They better produce this offseason. They better hit some home runs on picks and free agency. So that's what we're going to do. So again, season awards on Wednesday. And we'll probably get ready to look in what's going to be needed in the offseason. I may have some guests coming on. I'm going to try to see if I can get some people on with me to talk about this. And I may try to get somebody special on. We're going to definitely try to see about that. But everybody, that's the show for tonight. Very disappointing end to this season. Titans fall 20-13. Their season is over. And now we head into the sunset. But thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. Make sure y'all share the show out. Get those likes up. And I will be seeing y'all again on Wednesday night as we get ready to go into the offseason. Thank y'all for tuning in. And as ticked off as I am right now, I'm going to try my very best to go out on a positive note, because this is the only thing we know how to do. Everybody, we got to tighten up. Help me get to 1,000, y'all. This is all we know how to do. This is all we can do. Let's get to 1,000, y'all. Help me out. Thank y'all for tuning in. I wish y'all a good night. See y'all on Wednesday. Tighten up, even though it's very difficult. See y'all on Wednesday. Good night, y'all.